Execute. Yeah. Agua Nile, man. Well, that's a good opening actually for the story. Hey, man. Hey, can you redo that again? Anyway, one of the stories that came out this week was Acosta Carrillo, a injury lawyer in the Miami area, where he basically is about to lose his bar accreditation because he was beaming off pain pills.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Beam me up, Scotty, man. This is he was telling the basically the story of him misappropriating funds of clients, and now he's about to. He was a millionaire, he said, and now he's broke. RJ,
Yeah, it's a shame to hear that, but just goes to show you, man. You can have everything. You can have a very good, potential to make something great out of your life. And oftentimes we think that it's what we're trying to reach is too far or too big or too challenging or it's impossible. But a lot of time, it's not what you want to reach. It's the things that are distracting you from reaching your goals that are relevant or that are important to take away out of your life. So it's
mhm,
not necessarily being more disciplined, being more consistent, but it's removing things. For example, saying no television, no alcohol, and no pain pills. So in his case,
yeah,
and it's a
and the
shame to see something like that because once it becomes an addiction, it's very difficult to stop.
difficult, very difficult. And the thing is, it's just like small things, right? In his case, it started with a wrist injury, and he
A
started
wrist injury.
using. It started with he was playing baseball. He got drafted actually by the
Okay.
St. Louis Cardinals.
All right.
Played baseball, got a wrist injury, start using, I don't know if you can use the word right now, the Vicodin. Um, and that resulted in him basically getting
If it's
addicted to it.
if it's FDA approved, you can say it.
Oh, that is true. That is true. They don't care. If I said you're gonna say it later on this show, then I get banned. Okay, okay. You might be right
Yeah.
on that one. Now, but he
Yeah.
started using it just because of his wrist injury, and that resulted in where we're at right now. It's crazy. Just a small thing can change the whole trajectory of your life.
Yeah.
Choices,
Yeah.
choices, but also maybe just bad luck.
Well, I think
Somewhere in between.
oftentimes when you get an addiction, it's often there's always a psychological issue there. So there was
Mm,
probably some pain there, some traumas there, some things that he wasn't dealing with in a healthy way that caused him to um, take that pain pill and let it become more because it was probably numbing more than just the physical pain
mm,
indirectly. So that's what I think. And the problem is that once you have an addiction, you have two problems to solve: the addiction and the addiction. The addiction was that's basically a new habit that you've developed, and
mm.
a man, and the problem is still there,
It's
the
still
mental
there.
problem. So it becomes a bit more complicated, more layered. It's a
Well,
shame.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it is what it is. As we always say here, double top, protect yourself at all times and make sure you made the right decisions. Also, use the right sources before you get gulagged out here.
Yes.
Let's start the show.
I'll start the show. Read the description as well of the Medication,
Yes,
guys.
that's
Don't forget.
and not only the medication. Read the description we have down below,
Yeah.
all the way down.
Guys, welcome to another edition of the Double Thought Show. Before we proceed, we want to thank you for tuning in. In today's show, we're going to talk about Dave Chappelle calling Cat Williams out. We're going to react to a shocking story that happened in India where a US tech CEO wanted to make a grand entrance and plummeted to
Well,
end his, which resulted in
a grand
the
entrance not in in the
the
pearly gate.
final grand entrance. It ended in the final chapter of his book. And finally, we're going to talk about 8 suspicious US deaths in Colombia linked to dating apps. Talking about finding love in a hopeless place. Guys, I I did that. I did that to trigger to get that reaction out of you. I know how you
This
feel
is
about.
bad. This is bad, bro. This is bad. Passport bros are down. Help them.
Yeah, no, 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 man.
Hey, let's
It's
start the
a shame
show.
because
Hey,
it's a shame. I'm gonna tell you something, and guys, of course, remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Like the video so the algorithm shares it with more people. You yourself share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies, and don't forget to comment. Let us know what you think about the topics we discuss. KR, before we start with the first topic, I want to tell you one thing about Colombia, though. I'm hearing that
um,
what it's come a long way from what it used to be as it relates to danger, especially when the government reached a pact with the FARC during that time. But
mhm.
I'm hearing stories that it's a bit unsettling that it's gradually
Going back.
going backwards. And you always see the same thing. It's when you have someone that's more socialistic than others that these things start happening. So
Oh,
someone from the
really?
top,
You
right?
won't tell.
Yeah, you wouldn't tell.
It's always you
It's
wouldn't
shocking.
tell.
No,
Shocking.
yeah. In
Shocking.
any
Look at
case,
Chile.
look at yeah,
Chile.
yeah, yeah. So it's a shame,
Well,
but
Chile, the core in why Chile is the most wealthy nation in the South America is
it is.
because the revolution that happened, it spun out of control, to be honest.
Hmm.
But because of the structure that was set in place, it's resulted in
Exactly.
where they are now. Not saying that what the guy did, what Tata did, was good,
Mm-mm.
but it set really the nation to
It's not
a
about
different
good and bad. It's not about good and bad.
path.
It's about you
He was throwing
actions and
people off
consequences.
helicopters. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
good,
So
but
I'm telling you actions anyway.
but I know what you're trying to say. Well, everyone has both sides. Everyone has both sides. He was doing good, but he was also doing let's call it not bad, questionable things. Technically, he probably was. Oh man, I'm not gonna say. Oh my god, if I would say that, they would come for me and put one in my back.
Wow.
Pause. Uh, okay, hey, let's start. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start
Yeah.
the show.
So
Dave Chappelle calls out Cat Williams. Hey man, Cat Williams set basically the whole comedy scene on fire when he went on his viral interview on Club Shay Shay with Shannon
Shannon
Sharp.
Sharp.
He
Yeah.
really he really went at a couple of people, and that the funny thing of that whole situation is a lot of these people didn't respond how you would expect. There were no clapbacks. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's just Cat."
Yeah.
One of the people that also said gave some remark relating to this is Corey Holcomb. He said some of the things Kat said were not true, or things that are, as you always say. I need to credit you for this. You've said it multiple times on the show already. People always commingle lies with truths, and you don't see the difference anymore at a certain
Yep.
point. It's
Yep.
like, and Corey said there are some things he said that don't, it's not totally true, but it's
Mm.
pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you accept it or not? And then this happened. Basically, no one clapped back except, well, clapback is a big word, but he criticized, Jay Chappelle criticized Cat for calling out other black comedians.
And
He said basically,
calling out other black comedians and not calling out white comedians. So it
mm,
was both calling them out without calling out the white comedians. Yeah.
who said he's not doing, maybe he's doing two shows, maybe he's coming back, like in Terminator.
Yeah.
Maybe he's he's
Maybe.
he's he's, he's lining everyone up by group. By group. We start with the, oh my god.
Asians next.
Yo,
Where's Joe
yo,
Coy?
yo. Yo, what's the guy's? Ansari is
I'm sorry. I'm
where
sorry.
is he
Joe
going?
Coy.
Oh my God, where is Ansari? He got me too, and now he's working at McDonald's.
I think I saw him in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's not him. I just went to 7-Eleven and
Why you do that? Go, hey yo, hey yo.
I seen him do it.
I'm telling no, but all jokes aside, I did see some people who are finger snap famous. Like you see them and you're like, hey, because Hassan, I
Who's
would
that? Dude?
know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had seen him, I would have recognized him immediately. Of course, but for there are some people that you don't follow, and
Mm,
when you don't follow them, then I saw it and I was like, I know at least two people. I was like sitting at a restaurant. It was an Italian restaurant.
mm.
It's apparently a very popular restaurant. Even Joe Biden went to eat there at one point. And don't know
Was
if
he?
he
Did he
remembers,
eat
but
or was he fat?
in any case, when
They said,
but
yeah.
so I turned around and I was looking at this guy and I'm sure he's a actor. He's an actor for
Mm,
sure, but I can't place him. But he's not. He doesn't have like the branding like Ansa uh um all these so Schultz. I was
well
saying so
known.
Schultz.
Yeah.
He wasn't to me that known, but he's definitely an actor.
Who?
The
You still
guy I
don't
saw,
know?
I don't know. I don't know what his name is. Nice
Just
try.
one word. Hey, I know you from a movie. What movie was it again?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you're the B actor. Yes, yes, yes. I forgot your name, dude. Can I take a picture with you?
Oh,
No, why not? Let me
no,
pull
I'm
out
good.
my phone so I can shame you.
Yeah. This dude
Anyway,
hit me with a
anyway.
brick.
hey, hey, hey! That story really, really was a blow to believe our woman, man.
Yeah,
Go
but
watch the Monday show.
but
Go
they
watch the
still do
Monday
though.
show. We talked about
Yeah.
Rodman Osman, where if you watch the show, you understand it. The
You'll
brick,
get
the
it.
brick
You'll get
bozo.
the
You'll
brick
get it.
lady.
You'll get that joke. You get the reference.
Yeah.
Brick lady got is now locked up. So good luck to her because she's coming out in a year or so.
Yeah.
But
In
yeah,
any case,
going back to Dave Chappelle. Did you see Dave Chappelle in New York?
I didn't see him. No.
You didn't see him. Okay, okay. I'm just checking. I'm just checking. Maybe you saw.
I went to a comedy club.
Mhm,
I was supposed to see Barbosa, the up and coming stand up comedian. When we
mhm.
got there, they told us, okay, when you get there, um, you have to buy $20 of whatever, but that's of
Oh,
course like a drink and a popcorn and stuff. So
mhm.
we did. I mean, some people might, I understand. Some people might sit there and don't pay. And at the end, they were like, "Okay, thank you, thanks for coming in. Bye." And I was like, "Did I? Did we book the wrong show?" And as we stood up, a guy, a Latin guy, who was also there because Barbosa is, I believe, Mexican American or at least Latin American. And the guy went to the first employee he saw. He was like, "I paid to see Barbosa. You didn't tell me." And they were like, "Oh no, he canceled 2 days ago." And like, yeah,
Oh,
but
this is nasty work.
yeah.
That's
So
nasty work.
I'm never going there anymore, because you could have at least tell us, at the
Yeah.
start. But we were
Yeah.
all sitting there waiting for the big finale, and no,
That's nasty work right there. That's nasty
yeah,
work. Well, well, let's get back to Dave. Dave is basically calling out Katt for calling out only blacks and not whites, and also saying that he's hurting people's pockets.
yeah,
But should we accept people based on color, even though they are doing other people wrong? This is maybe a
cat.
harsh question.
Oh, cat said, because his point of view, he made it clear.
Accountability.
No, his point of view was relating to that question. Race is not where you draw the line.
Mm.
It's God's side and the other side.
Ooh,
That's I mean, I'm
ooh,
I'm paraphrasing
ooh,
exactly what he said.
ooh.
This
Is
is
it why
exactly
all
what he
the
said.
scammers are trying to pull into the Lord?
Maybe.
Another reference of the last show.
But but so Cat Williams'
That is true. He
point of
said
view
it.
was clear. He said
It's
race
either
is
you're.
not where you draw the line. I watched it like 3 times, for sure.
Oh, you watched it.
Race
I watched it only one time. Oh, one and a
I
half
watched
time.
it. I watched it 3 times because I like to see. I like to see people who
Express
go.
themselves.
No, people who do things differently. I like to see their way of thinking.
Study. Mm,
Yeah,
study
study
the.
that. So yeah, to me it was like the first time was like okay, but the second and third time was just to see how does he think, what's his logic, etc. But yeah, so that's his point of view. So to Dave, he would probably say the same. Race is not where he draws the line. Maybe, and
Well,
Dave clearly does. So there's
kind
like
of
that's like basically a two. It's just like when Keith Lee. Remember the show we did about Keith Lee where we covered the fact that when he went to Atlanta, the Atlanteans were like they're trying to break black businesses. Even Ocho Cinco said it, and then Ocho Cinco had to come back in the next show and said, "Yeah, my daughter told me who Keith Lee was, and I was wrong." But it's like as soon as, and that to me is it's like double, right? Because at the one hand you need to have like a group to survive. People need groups to survive. It's just by nature you can't be alone. You're in danger. But at the same time,
that's what they don't. That's not true. According to Red Pill, you're alpha, so you should be you should be able to
the
stand like
Sigma.
the 300 by your
Yeah.
own. Hold on the
Yeah.
whole army.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
one thing. But at the other hand, but but it's like um so you need to
but
have a
that's
group.
true.
But the second but the question
But
is, so
is the group really ready to skin? It's more you
no,
want people.
yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah,
want
continue.
people that are in the same realm mentally, right? That's also what your group, your community is not the people. It doesn't have to be people who look like you, because people that look like you may not have the same philosophy, the life philosophy, and that's what where a lot of times, I mean, relationships, both business wise, but also romantic relationship, crash out and burn because people don't have the same philosophy, the same life philosophy. The life philosophy crashes, and then it's finito.
Yep. Yep. That's it. And Tyler Perry said in an interview, I think if I'm not mistaken, this was the same interview as the one that went viral when he was telling women to
To
have
accept.
to reevaluate their standards.
Mm.
But he said in that show, in that interview, that there was a point in time where he was trying to pull people along, bring people along. Come on,
Ooh, I saw
we've
that one.
it was like we've gone so far together. Let's go. um you've reached a certain height. You're 10K in
10K
the
up.
air, and then you're like, hey, we can go more. Let's go more. Come on, you can do it. When we get there, there are a lot of benefits. But if you see that that person can't breathe, you need to leave. You need to leave him there.
Yes,
And it's
that
the
is
same
true.
thing with color. I mean, you made a joke in a previous show about me looking like a Mexican.
No, I didn't say that. Don't lie. Don't
I
put
know,
words
but
that I
just
didn't say. You DJ Envy is
I
not a Mexican.
I know.
DJ Envy is from the
Acco- well,
island.
according to Charlemagne, yes, he always says, Aren't you beige?" Nah, but you said nah, but you made. But I'm just saying, you made a joke about. Uh, well, go check out the joke, guys. But
Yeah, don't
but
check the,
in any case,
it was a
in
great
any
joke.
case,
He
but
tried to.
it was an okay joke. So when you had like so, but what did you say? It came down to me having more or less the same complexion as DJ Envy and Caesar
Yeah,
PM.
yeah.
But the three of us, we might have more or less the same complexion, but we have like
Totally
totally
different.
different backgrounds. And to
Yeah.
just say skin color is everything to me is not like valid. It's not. It goes further than that. Now, do I understand what Dave wanted to say? Yes, I do. And we need to take into account another fact that in the US, skin color it's like a very very um delicate subject, very delicate
Mhm.
topic.
Yep.
And so I can understand why he said it as well. But Cat Williams, his point of view was skin color is not where you draw the line. Good, you have the good side, you have the good side, and you have the bad side, the other side.
Hey, man. Others are chiming in as well. Like I said, Corey said what he said about Cat. He said Cat might be mixing up some lies, but he said he's good for the game. He's good for the comedy community that he said that. And he's also chiming in to what the great Dave said. And he basically said the following. Fair
Fair
use.
use.
Corey, shout out to you. Love your show. Don't try to hit us with a strike, man.
When Dave Chappelle is in a movie, man, Dave Chappelle kill that shit. We was talking about it before we came on. The Chappelle show was so good and entertaining. The Chappelle show, they were selling it in the barbershops. It's a TV show.
Yeah.
They were selling the TV show in the barbershop.
That's true.
Give Dave Chappelle his flowers, but stand up. God dang. This man has so much power because of what he's done in movies and TV that he can go in any comedy club. They're going to put him up because he's Dave Chappelle. And I promise you, this man is about to do a say no to comedy speech for as long as he up there. It's just nobody has the courage to say nothing because it's Dave Chappelle. But Dave Chappelle be bombing like a motherfucker. Now, I've watched Dave Chappelle specials. Out of every 5 specials, 2 of them are good. 2 of them are good. But go ahead, D.
No. I'm sorry. I didn't want to.
I don't want to hog it all, but I'm just saying, nobody has the courage to say this. The only person who said something was Faison Love.
Man, he basically said out of every five, two are good.
Yeah.
One thing I do agree with him, there's a lot of these shows that people secretly record where he's preaching. I mean, sometimes there was this. I do remember this. They did one of these specials. It's like a 20-minute special. They uploaded it. I think I told you back then. It was a couple of years back. I don't know why they uploaded this on Netflix. I was like, what is this? It was, I think, the barn show where he was giving the show at the back of his own barn in whatever city he lives at.
No, yeah, that one was a 21-minute show, and it was due to the
Uncle. Was it Uncle time?
no, yeah, it was, but it was due to the was it Trayvon Martin who got the knee on the neck?
This was well, Trayvon Martin got a tune up. No, they
Yeah, yeah.
Denmark got back. It was
No, but it was due
which,
to the knee on the neck. The knee,
okay, that guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Floyd.
yeah, Floyd. I was almost said Mayweather, Floyd, but yeah, yeah, it was Floyd. Yeah, so it was a reaction to that. Yeah, to that
There are some
incident.
things I ask us. So I like
But,
his special
but
in general, but some of them are not hitting.
no,
Some
so
of
I would
them.
yeah, continue.
No, I said sometimes I do agree partially in this. 3 out of 5 is maybe a bit harsh. So 2 out of 5 are good. I would say 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, but some of them I really have no.
Yeah. Well, I think that his comedy style has changed significantly.
Yeah,
So what he does is he tells stories,
yeah.
and he his comedy style is not come out there and then just go one, two, three, four, laugh, laugh, laugh. He tells stories. He brings you along, and it's deeper. So I view his comedy style as deeper. It's not shallow, quick, funny, but it's and in that sense, I like it because he can hold your attention. I have to say that if there are a lot of stand-up comedy specials. If Dave drops one without promotion, I go watch it. DL Hughley drops one, I'll go watch it. Cat Williams drops one, I go watch it. Cedric, it took me a while to watch the one that dropped. And when I did, there was one great joke, which was the Bomanisha joke. And
And that was
even that, even that,
that one was stolen.
yo, I'm not. That's what is being claimed. But the
Well,
Bomanisha one,
well. Okay,
Steve
continue.
Harvey, I can watch. Steve Harvey is he doesn't do
Steve Harvey hasn't
stand up.
released a special since I
No,
was
no, not
in
special.
my Pampers.
That's true. But when he, for example, hosts a show, keynote speaker, I find him funny. So I find Steve Harvey funny. I yeah.
Do
But
you
any
find him
other,
funny or is he funny looking?
I find him funny.
Okay.
Trevor Noah to me is also maybe hit and miss. Hit and miss. The thing is, I just like comedy, and what Trevor Noah does in his because he has a very great sense of humor, but I, th- certain so now political things I'm not really into that. So that's the thing.
Guy bombs more than he his comedy
I
style is targeted towards a group which has no humor, to be honest.
well
Majority of it are like,
well, I like the Son of Patricia. I found it very funny. Yeah.
can he make jokes? Can he write jokes that are not political?
I think he can, but is that his style? That's the question. Because if you look at it, a lot of people use jokes. I mean, they use politics, but it's the focus sometimes is not on the funny, it's on the social political message.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
that
it's,
is.
so you can talk about it, but it's like, where is the focus? Is it still needs to be funny? Whether you're against or pro something, you should be able to laugh at both. You should even be able to laugh at yourself, at your. But if when it's too social political, then maybe let's say a daily show would be great. It's not there anymore, but I think he's perfect for that show. He's a very smart, funny, charismatic, and he has like the reactive comedy style, so he can react very funny. But
Yeah.
to come and tell a what or host an hour long special, maybe, I mean, if he keeps trying, you'll get there. But it's not like
You're right. You're right. Let's try to keep it. Let's not try to burn him up. I want to say something, but I think it's gonna haunt me. It's definitely gonna haunt me if I say it. So I'm gonna leave it here. But yeah,
okay.
Cat. I mean, you wrap it up pretty nice. He said, Cat said it's God's people against the bums. Oh no, wait
They
a
didn't
second.
say the bombs.
He didn't say that. What was
The,
it again? It was God's people against Diddy people. Oh no, that's something else. What did he say?
the guy, the guy who said God's people against the bums, his name almost seems and sounds like Cat Williams, but it's not that. It's very close, but it's not that. In any case,
That's a
God,
shot right
no,
there.
yeah, but it's like God's people, no, God's side and the other side. That's what he said.
Ah, yeah, yeah. It's a side. It's a side thing. It's a
Yeah.
crip. You're cripping for God. Anyway, let's continue with the second topic. Tech CEO meets his maker in a freak accident. It happened last
Mm.
week, man.
Yep.
Sad but true. His name is Sanjay Shah, and he was the CEO of Vistex, which is a Chicago company that also has um, a subsidiary in India. And they went there to basically celebrate the 25th anniversary of the company. He was one of the founders, one of the main founders. And they were basically in what seems like a on stage celebrating in a what seems like, or how would you call it? This is like a balloon kind of structure. It would, I think, it was supposed to look like the balloon where people sit in, and
Hmm.
then it went sideways, literally, and he plunged to his end. Sad thing, man. Sad thing, and this is why you have to always be very, very careful about this situation, even if whether you're a CEO or just a random person. Safety first.
Yeah. It's a shame to go out like that. No, it's the. Then again, I can make a going out with a bang joke, but I won't. I
Yeah.
think that it's. I think that it's
I can make a lot of other jokes as well, but
when
then
when things when things like this happen, it's like, how, like, what should
yeah,
you think? What, I mean, how should you interpret it? How should you start analyzing it? Except for it happened. For the family, if he had a family, they just
yeah,
lost a father, a brother, a son without him being sick or anything. He probably at the top of his career. The company now doesn't have a CEO. or at least they might have had a CEO. They might have care. They might have looked for this is corporate. They might have looked for a CEO as he was falling. So the
It sounds-
business,
that sounds pretty corporate. Yes, this sounds pretty corporate. By the
the
way, do
business,
you know?
yeah.
No, continue. Finish
No,
up.
no. So, and I just wanted to say that the business will continue to go on. Everything will continue to go on, and just he is not there anymore. Like
Yep.
from one
If
moment to the next.
this is the thing, right? If you're, by the way, he's the founder. He's the only sole founder.
Mm.
If you build up your business correctly, after you pass away, the business will continue forward even without your lead. You have
Founder,
to put the
founder,
pieces.
CEO.
Yes, in this case,
Okay.
of course, when it's long, I'm not talking about 1 year or 2 years. When you have a
Yeah.
10-year, you put up the structure correctly, even if you're gone, the company will continue because you've put leaders at the right positions. That's why
Hmm.
you're saying they were probably looking for a CEO while he was going down, because that's
Yeah.
usually how it works. The
Yeah.
business will continue. It's not like it's gonna stop. Of course, they're gonna mourn him
Yeah.
because he's the founder. He created a company that gives a lot of people a livelihood.
Yeah. And they
But
probably hold like like a ceremony and things like that as well. Maybe finance the funeral because it's a tax write off. You were saying
probably. But the thing is, one another person who was also in that bucket that broke and resulted in his demise was the president. So there were two guys in there. The
that
president was
seems a bit suspicious,
that the president was also injured.
but he's alive.
He's alive. He's alive. In what capacity is? You can be alive and still be a Biden. Um, I just come up with these, man. I wasn't thinking about it until right before I said he was alive, and
A
then it came
Biden,
up.
a Biden citizen.
No, no, no,
Probably.
no, no, not a Biden. A Biden,
Yeah,
a
I know.
Platt.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Uh, um,
Girl, I got so many Biden jokes, but I'm not
a
gonna go
puppet.
there.
In any case,
No,
the
no. But the thing is this, right? And then you gotta be one thing we also know is, and I'm not trying to criticize the country, but a lot of times when you look at stuff in India, it's not the safest. A lot of times it's not a critique, it's a
then
something I
what?
see. It's an observation.
Observation. Yeah.
When you see, let's say you see all those trains derailing and all that stuff, trucks plunging out of ravines, down into ravines. I mean, it's
Yeah. So
sad.
safety. Yeah,
It's not.
safety is not like the top of priority. The top priority of. But it's still. KR, if you tell me the CEO and the president, it might be a Johnson situation right there. Lyndon Johnson. In any case, I think that we should. I know you're trying to run away from it, but it's okay. I think what we should do is try to learn from this and just do
Just
as
celebrate
just do just wear a black turtleneck, some jeans, and
and celebrate with your 2 feet on the ground.
yeah,
Don't
just
try
have like
to
your
hover. Don't try to hover on top of your employees.
exact like you're
Be
better than
at
them.
eye level.
Yeah,
See
but
eye
on a
to eye.
stage, but on a
On the stage.
stage,
Yeah, but on the
but I
stage, but you gotta see eye to eye. Don't try to look
yeah,
down upon, because
I
maybe they will look up to you in a doing a dirt nap. Hey
no.
man, condolences to the family and also the company, friends. It's a sad situation. Protect yourself at all times.
Yes.
Protect yourself at all times. Hey man, talking about protecting yourself at all times. visitors to Colombia warned about dating apps.
Mm.
The beginning of this year, we talked about this. It was almost a rant where we basically said, don't go to Colombia and think ish is sweet. Still, people go there and think ish is sweet, and then they find out they are the candy, not
Mhm.
the girls. You're the candy.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
You're the munch.
Mhm.
People are munching off of you.
Mhm. Yeah, I think when you
Right?
so so dating apps in itself is it's only advisable if you are in a safe space, I guess, because the way like you meet random strangers and you only match based on looks and what the bio says, both
Yep.
of which can be a lie. I forgot who it was who said he doesn't make use of Uber Eats because and the other guy asked him why not. I forgot who it was. It was a podcast. The guy said, "Haven't you ever had he mentioned a car like a small car with tinted windows out there. Haven't you ever wondered who the three people in the back are? So you never know with 100% certainty who someone is. And if you go, that counts in a safe place. Now let's go to a country that, as I said, was for a long time stable, but is seemingly destabilizing bit by bit, or has been doing so the last couple of years. And we know how it used to be. You probably can speak the language. So if something happens to you, and for
That,
what? You probably didn't even get some before you die. That's like the sad part.
that is a crazy part. And it's true because they put it in your drink.
Yeah.
Before you get home, before you become Rotman, you're asleep. Or maybe already at the pearly gates.
Yeah, well, because they use like in Colombia, amongst other things, I think it's called burundanga, and it's like a
Well,
powder. And if you like inhale it, you pass away immediately. And
they
what
put
the what the
cinnamon.
what the women do is they put like something in their noses to block the airway. Sometimes it's even like tampons, like small tampons, but they put it to block the airway, and they put it in, let's say, maybe a powder form or even cream form, and they go as if they want to kiss you. You just need to inhale it one time and then you're gone. It's so dangerous, but yet when you see a beautiful Colombian woman and you're not used to it, you're willing to
The
throw everything away.
odds are, by the way, you say a beautiful Colombian woman. Odds are she ain't even Colombian. Odds are she's Venezuelan.
Yeah, well.
That's the crazy thing. That's the
Mm,
crazy thing. It's just like when you go out, there are people from different. Just because she's speaking Spanish doesn't mean she's from Colombia. Maybe she's a
mm.
scammer from a nearby country.
Yeah, that's also a possibility. Yeah,
I'll
but in
give
any
you an
case, I think, yeah, continue.
no. I'll give you an example, and I'm gonna show you how these things goes down. There was this YouTuber who was streaming. He was in Colombia, in Cartagena to be exact, Cartagena, and he was basically streaming. He was grooving with two ladies. He thought, "I'm gonna hit it tonight," not knowing that he was the one who's gonna get hit. This is what happened. Fair use, man. Can you hear it?
Tú pareces Shakira.
Can you hear it?
Hey
Hmm.
there.
Yeah.
So watch the girl in the back. She just picks up my cup, and now she's about to drop in something into my cup right there. You see that?
He was
And
live
now she's
streaming.
about to look in there. Yep,
It's
it's in
there.
there.
He didn't
So yeah, I
notice
met
it.
these two girls like a block away, just in the plaza right there in Cartagena, Colombia. That's little barrio. The neighborhood there is called Getsemani. It's a nice little area. Here we are again. Let's check it out again. She picks up my cup and pops it right in there. You can see. Definitely put something in my drink and it's looking.
Hasta el party, baby. Hasta
Claro.
la amanecida.
Sí,
Vamos
todas las
party,
noches.
baby. Vamos party. They're gonna party with you. You're not gonna party with them. It continues. Then, luckily, he was live streaming. This is the thing, right? There are two. So one is for distraction, the other one is for the action. Oh, that sounded great, by the way.
Sounded great, man. Yeah. Yeah.
One is gonna distract you. You can see that before she puts it in the drink, they have eye contact. And then the one closes in and starts distracting you, while the other basically spikes your drink. Luckily for him, he was live streaming and people started warning him. Like, she spiked your drink. Let's take a look.
Noches.
He took a sip, by the way. But look at this. Look at how she's looking at how he's gonna take the sip. She's anticipating a big drink. Let's see.
Sí,
He just
sí. Es mejor que águila. Eso es un beso.
small sip.
Casi, casi.
Look at
Ahí te di un beso. Te di un beso.
Sí. Vamos a brindar, vamos a brindar. Ojos, ojos lindos. ¿Cómo está la vida? La historia de la vida. ¿Cómo está la historia de la vida? You saying I've been roofied?
yo. This is crazy. Yo, this is like out of body experience. But because he drank it already, so he's like, oh shoot. You say I've been roofied. The shock he has internally probably.
You sure?
You sure?
Sad. Serious? Dang. Really?
O sea, después de que cierran todo esto a la tercera de la noche, hay un after party.
After
Eh?
party.
47. More than 47.
The after party will be with your liver. you you wake up in a bathtub with ice around you and your liver missing. Or a
crazy.
kidney. It's crazy. I mean, he recovers because at the end, let me see if I can.
Very good.
Let me
Sí.
see if I can get.
Puede ser. ¿Qué hay? ¿Qué hay?
He stays. Let me see what he does. Yeah, so around here he
Okay,
says,
voy al baño. Ahorita baba.
¿Por qué vas tanto al baño?
Ah, primera vez. I go to the toilet. Let's do it. Not worth the risk. Goodbye, dear. Adiós. This is a good stream. Me voy a pagar la cuenta y me voy. A mi cuenta, pues. Ya me voy, ya me voy. Ahora sí, adiós, chicas. Bueno, ya me voy porque ya tengo que irme. No, ya me voy. No, ya me voy. Tengo buena noche.
Vamos, no dejes solas. Es de mal gusto. Deja a tu chica sola.
No, ustedes tienen... Yo estoy solo. Ya, chao.
Vamos.
No, ya me voy.
The tongue is already heavy.
it's already heavy. He's already halfway there. She's already seeing her victim walking away. The money, the cash cow. But this is the thing you're dealing with. And in this case, I mean, a lot of people are by themselves. They're not in a group. And
Because
then
he
you're the
can speak
perfect
the
target.
because he can speak the language, and if there wasn't anyone there if he wasn't live streaming,
Oh, you would have been, dude. One thing you'll see, right? This is the thing, and a lot of people think, like I said, shit is sweet. Just go on YouTube and and Google. I YouTubed beer roofie in Colombia. What you see here, she could have amped me and drugged and robbed in Colombia. You can getting drugged on camera in Colombia. He's there. I was drugged and robbed. Got robbed in Colombia. Kurt Cass on scopolamine grows in Medellin. Scary situation. Dude, this is, you can continue scrolling. Asian man found deceased. And that's is Turgu. Yeah, that's what the topic we discussed. The one we discussed at the beginning of the year. This guy was basically kidnapped, and they asked for ransom, and he called family asking for money. And still, even though they send the money, he said, I'm in a difficult situation right now. Can you send me some money? They sent him some money. He gave him the money, and then they poked him.
They
They
did.
found him poked up.
Yeah.
It's sad, but you gotta protect yourself. I mean, this is, you're in a different country, different. You don't know the language. Usually, these people don't know the language. They talk English. You're just a mark.
Yeah.
A mark. Wait, you're just a.
But that's but
It's everywhere. It's not only in
but
Colombia.
but I will say this, Kia. If you wake up, you go to work, or you go visit parks, and you go do, like museums and nature walks, and maybe those things. You can go look at architecture. You can go try food. If you go to places, then nothing. They can always steal. They can always mug you, technically speaking.
Mhm.
But
That's true.
it's limited. It's when, and I'm gonna speak for men right now, because men usually do this. Women don't go on Tinder dates abroad. But it's when you go on dates, that's when it happens. What did Coach Dungy said? Every time that an athlete gets into trouble,
Oh,
there's
it's after
a
12,
after, I think it
after
was
3.
after midnight. And one of the points were with a woman you know too well or not well enough.
Yeah.
With a woman you know too well or not well enough. So that's when that's the problem. So when I go out, s- um, well, at least not when I go out. When I go abroad, I used to live in the Netherlands. Last time I was there, I didn't have the time to go abroad, to go out. But if I go out, I know where I'm going. I know the places. I'm not gonna try something out by myself, nor with people who don't know, who are not living there. If I have friends that constantly go there, then I will say, okay, yes. But I'm not going. If I go to a country that I don't know.
You're
Did you hear that?
freezing. No, I don't
Oh,
know.
you didn't. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So if you go to a place, if you go abroad and I don't know the place, why am I going to party? Why would I do that? You never know who's watching. And if the streets are hungry, they're looking for a plate to eat from. And there you go. And you have the currency in your favor. So you order rounds and you buy this, and people watch, people look at those things. I think, and there's a reason as well why women are oftentimes used as bait for men, because they know a man can be rich, a man can be smart, a man can be an overachiever, a man can have everything in his order. But there are Eves out there trying to convince him that the apple is worth it.
Crazy, man.
In any
Crazy.
case, I think it's not the first nor the last.
It won't be the last. I mean, let's be honest. Passport Bros is was the topic of 2023. It really skyrocketed out of nowhere. Even though we all know it has been something
Going
that
on
has
for, yeah.
happened forever. I know
Yeah.
we all know the guys that who usually go to Thailand to hang out with the lady. Or another type of lady, which we're not gonna mention.
Oh.
I was thinking about saying it. I don't know. I don't know if it's offensive or not. Right? I don't know. I
That's,
mean,
I
you
don't
may say
care.
what
Let's go on, man. That's not the point. That's not the point.
the ladies and the other type of ladies. No,
Yeah.
but we all know the people that would go those. So it's happening forever. But I think
Yeah.
it became really mainstream the last year or so, or 1.5 years, 2 years,
Hmm.
and to the point that even criminals are like, okay, let's try to cash in now.
Yeah.
While the iron is still hot, and the thing is always right. You want to one thing. I think we talked about this off camera. You want when everyone is zigging, you gotta zag.
Yeah.
So when everyone is going passport bro mode, you should do the opposite because usually that's when it goes wrong. When something becomes mainstream, that's when it usually goes wrong. Look at Bitcoin.
Yeah.
All the scams really happened. Hey, all the scams with Bitcoin happened when the great mass started putting their money in.
Yeah.
Before that, there were not a lot of scams because the people who were early stage were not into it for the scamming because there was no money to scam.
That's
You were
true.
doing it for the love of the coin.
Yeah.
Not
And
everyone
I would
wanted to
say,
do
yeah. And I would say, let's say the whole argument in the, I put in a chat another example, but the, a lot of people who
why
go
you got
abroad,
these guys in there.
a lot of people who go abroad to find women, their argument is that there you can still find traditional women. And although I think that's true, I do think that there is the matter of globalization going on, and
Yep.
even feminism is going through all the countries. So maybe it was the truth like a couple of years ago that there was still a patriarch at the head who was taking care, the mom was staying at home, etc. But even that changes, and the girls see at a young age, hey, I want to be that too, I want to be there too. So everyone develops their need and wants to create a career for themselves,
Yep.
which means that the catering to the man goes away. Nonetheless, there you will undoubtedly find women, I think both nationally and abroad, who are more traditional. I mean, probably you'll find more abroad. But the fact of the matter is that I think that a lot of people forget one thing. If you ask yourself how many women you know, and out of those women, how many of them are women who you think are material to have something meaningful with, relationship wise, it's a very small number. It's a very small number. I think a lot of people think that with if you throw a stone in one of those countries, you will find a wife, and it doesn't work like that. So,
Oh
because again,
man.
I mean, if I'm living abroad, you think just because a woman comes, I don't know you, I know nothing about you, I know nothing about your family, but I see, this is one of the mystical creatures they were talking about.
They call them unicorns.
Yeah, whatever they want to call it. In any case, you they forget about logic, but in their country they wouldn't do that. In their country they would test, they would go out, they will give people benefit of the doubt. Another thing that plays a role, I believe, is if you can't speak the language, you have the language barrier.
Mhm.
So it's gonna take you a bit longer to find out that the other person ain't ish.
And not only that, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
And so when
And
you get
you know,
yeah, so when you get there, so when you get to you just go out, meet someone, you see beautiful, and to your point, are they really beautiful? It's just the fact that they see the skin, the golden skin with the long hair, and they're like, and also the curves, and they're like, wow. But if you really, 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 really look at the women, are they really beautiful? Not saying that there aren't beautiful women, but it seems as though as soon as they speak a different language, wow, beautiful. Are they
pe-
really beautiful?
people get mesmerized by what their eyes see, and
Yeah, or what they want to see. They
they
project.
want to. I mean, that's true. You want to see the good part. You want to believe, because don't forget. Let's say hypothetically, you find. Let's go by the idea you threw the stone and you caught that unicorn fish. You caught it. Now you're bringing it back to where you're from. Guess what happens? Just guess what happens. That person gets in contact with your culture.
Mhm.
That adapts, she changes, she gets in contact with other people, learns new things, and all of a sudden, it
Someone will tell. She,
you.
yeah, she'll go to yoga class, and Susan will ask her, "You let him talk to you like that? I wouldn't let my man do this. I wouldn't let my man do that."
So it's always situational, situational.
Yeah, I do think
You
that. I do think that. I do think that. Um, if you're
I,
going to make use of, if you're yeah, no, if it's too
are you gonna
complicated,
say
it's a too complicated subject. But I don't think that apps are the way. I know people, by the way, who've been together for years now. They met through
it?
apps. I
Yeah.
don't think that apps are the way to do it. That's not the best way. Actually, the best way to, if you want to go into a relationship with someone, Kira, just what I believe, truly believe now, you really need to know the person in a friendly setting first. So, how are you when you're not trying to impress me? And is there attraction there? But the thing
That's
is, if you have options, if you have like options, then it's no problem. But it's those who don't have options that as soon as a woman walks by, boobs behind, they grab with consent. In my example, they just grab, hold on, and they don't let go. That you have
what
to
am
do
I
it.
to say? I think you're definitely right. The best way and the setting you create is basically having mutual friends. That's probably the best one because not only that the person has been actually verified by your peers, they you have also been verified by her peers. So there is also, don't forget, there is also a level of pressure for you guys to make it work because you're like the one that's in the group. So you guys met. That's probably the safest way to start
Mm,
these days. Well, probably
mm,
one of the safest. I mean, it will guarantee a better outcome usually.
yeah.
I do
Another,
think that
yeah.
apps are a gamble a lot of times. It's either a hit or a miss, and that You have to watch out for those misses because those misses could be for women and for men the end of your journey.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And also, yeah, man. At the end of the day, you deal with people go outside of wherever they are. But one thing you gotta always remember is wherever you go to, there you are.
If you're a bum
So
here, you're
if
probably a
you
bum there as
you're gonna end up being a bum there. If you cannot verify a woman here, so let's say you keep meeting these girls that are not traditional. I'm gonna say something about traditional in a second. You keep meeting these girls that are not traditional. What makes you think that if you go outside by your parameters, because you're choosing the ones you meet here in whatever country you are, whether it's US or another country, you're the ones meeting them. What gives you the impression that if you go outside with your parameters, you'll choose the right one? There are these guys who go outside and hang out with W's.
well. Hmm,
I
hmm.
cannot say the full word. And then they act like they are the love of their life.
I know a guy. I mean, studied well. Also a colleague. So colleague, yeah, lawyers call each other colleagues. But it's a colleague. Doesn't work. So he lives abroad,
Hmm.
but he had like a short stint on a Caribbean island.
Hmm.
And I visited him once, and he said, "Hey, what's up?" I said, "Good." I said, "So you're working here? I'm visiting." He's like, "Okay, great. After work, I'll come." And he came and we talked. It was great hanging out. And then we said, "Hey, I'm going to a club. You coming?" So what kind of club is it? What type of music do they play? Because I was with a couple of friends. He said, "Well, actually, I we call it a club here, but actually, it's a W house." And I was like,
Did you ask Miss Mace and Pastor Mace and
"Cam, Cameron there."
I'm not just
I was
kidding. I'm
like,
just
I
kidding.
was like, yeah, and I said no, no thanks. He politely declined, and he went there. And shortly after, I saw, I mean, he's now married to a Latin girl. It
Mm,
wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. But I mean,
mm.
that's not a question you ask. Hey, is she a W? No, but
It's the woman you chose to be your wife that you met her.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
I don't do that. But the point is that you have to be. I think a lot of men throw their lives away for women. When you look at the two ladies in the video you showed, it's clear that the women were there trying to get something out of the man.
Hmm.
And I like to feel so. This is so to me. If I'm on a date, I want to feel like we can. We should be able to sit around and do nothing and enjoy each other's company.
Yep.
As soon as I feel like, hey, can we get me a drink? And those things can, if a person who doesn't have anything, you take that person out to somewhere luxurious or some at a place where she's not used to, she will do that. I don't like that feeling because then I feel used. But if you don't have anything, or you don't have options at home, then you might think, ah, man, here I'm the king.
I'm
Here's
the
your wallet.
king. Yo.
And when first it's you, then you find out there's a sister, then a mother, and then a cousin.
And the brother,
And the
and
cousin,
the
the
brother turns
cousin,
out to be or the
and the
cousin. Yeah.
cousin, and the cousin will turn out to be not a cousin.
Well, could be a cousin, but a cousin who has a rotten in her. Uh,
Rampage. Yeah.
Rampage. Hey, well, what I wanted to say is this, right? A lot of people are looking for, and this is my last point. People always say, "Yeah, traditional this, traditional that." Come on, man. Let's be honest. Majority of the people don't make enough money to sustain two people. So you can be looking for a traditional, in a sense. What are you actually looking for? Are you looking for someone who's gonna stay at home and, let's see, be a homemaker, or do you choose someone who has certain values that align with, let's
Yours.
say, yours, and additionally also is someone who has the homemaker mentality that doesn't have to be at home? Hey, you don't want to be have someone at home being a homemaker and you're both broke. That's what
Yeah,
I'm gonna say.
yeah,
That's a guaranteed doom for you both.
yeah. And
Yeah.
another thing that plays a role is, I mean, you need to ask yourself what you want in the wife, right? So if you want to have a someone that stays at home, I know people who both have, or at least both had very great careers and great outcome. The
Mhm.
man at one point, but this is an outlier to your point. The man at one point was earning so much money that the woman could stay at home. The woman didn't want it because she also had her career. But at some point, she said she saw, okay, I can just stay at home. So she did. But then you have two people with not only the same values, but also they both reach a certain point in their life. I know for a fact that this woman is still, reading and doing some personal development and those type of things. So, I mean, that's a very ideal situation. But for the
Mhm.
same, I mean, for the same count, she could have chosen to continue working. And it's the traditional, I mean, as traditionally, men like to feel like kings. They like to feel cared for. They like it. And when I think when men say that they want a traditional wife, usually they're alluding to that aspect. They're not necessarily alluding to the home aspect, but so they're alluding to the how are you, my king, that type of attention. And the question, and you have to be fair to your point. If you can sustain the two, if you can sustain the family by yourself, you need to accept that when you get home, your woman is tired too.
You're,
So
you're not you're not a
yeah,
king.
yeah.
No, but
And
yeah.
the same goes the other way around. The same goes the other way around because I saw somewhere that a woman said women these days are not looking for husbands; they're looking for wives.
That's a good
They're
one. Yeah, I saw that. That's a
yeah,
good one.
they're
I mean,
looking for wives. Yeah,
what
because what they want is what we. So what
what
we
do
always want. Yeah,
what do I
continue.
always say?
What?
I've said it in the past as well, right? A lot of people, well, sometimes some people are looking not for the guy who leads. I mean, if you're not a leader, if you're like a, I mean that. Well, let's say if not, you're not the leading kind. Maybe you should lead the left. Have her lead you. I'm not saying
Yeah,
that it will
yeah,
end good for you,
but it's
but
better than any. Yeah, yeah. And if you have a conflict of leadership, you need to split. If both of
yeah,
you wants to be leader, then you need to split because 50-50 doesn't work. It's not. It's impossible to do 50-50. There are sometimes you do it, sometimes I do it. But KR, you and I, we
accountability
both.
and leadership. That's a leadership, man.
But in any case, you can't quantify the roles because the roles are important. If you have like two directors, one of them one of them's main responsibility is people, and the other's main responsibility is the business. When you go to when you go to the people director will say go to the oh, that's something that the business director needs to handle, and the other way around. So the roles
Mhm.
are clearly defined. They define it amongst each other, and they stick to it. Now the business director can look and say that people's director has it so easy, look how many things I need to do, and he only needs to manage people. But the one that's managing and the one that's managing people might look and see, look, I'm managing emotions and feelings and all these things, and it's so tiresome. I want to be like him, just managing, the numbers, etc. At the end of the day, both roles are responsible. and it's about the roles. The traditional roles are not clearly defined because they do not exist anymore. That's why I believe people should define their own roles for themselves. But if you go and make a list and make sure that everyone has the same 10 points and you do 10 and I do 10, that's not going to work because it's not that simple. And if you want to base a relationship based on that, then never mind it.
Hey, at the end of the day, this is the thing, right? If you're and this is why a lot of people don't understand leadership, and then now we can close this out. A lot of people don't understand leadership and how it usually works. Leadership is not only, well, you have a leader, someone who decides, let's say, this is the mission, this is where we're going. But the leader is only important in that case to set the mission and the vision. It's up to everyone who's the crew member, let's say you're in a boat, to have accountability and responsibility to add value towards that goal. It's not someone who's gonna take. This is the difference between a group of coherent shipmates versus a ship that's about to sink. Because if you're the leader and you have to pull everyone with you, then the ship is gonna. You're not saving anyone. You're not helping anyone. This is why I always think it's very weird when rappers try to. If anyway.
Yeah. Any case, when start talking about rappers, it's time to close. Guys,
Time
thanks
to
for
close.
tuning in. Remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell. Share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. Don't forget to comment. Let us know what your thoughts are relating to the matters we talked about in this show. And of course, like the video so the algorithm picks it up and shows it to more people. It's been a pleasure to serve you once more, and we'll see each other in the next one. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Piece of chicken.